Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is DaReal, and we are here with some NBA 2K Mobile. Today, we will be going over the stats breakdown for all the glass themed players. We are going to rank the top point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and centers, the top players you should craft, the top players overall that you should try to put on a team, and basically stack all the categories from the lowest to highest and incorporate our overall stat average, which we use. Now, if you guys have never seen my stat breakdown videos, I'll break it down very quickly for you. What we do is we take every category for every player in the game, from shoot off dribble all the way through defending, and we create a formula that gives us an overall stat average number for these players. And that's how we determine what players are the best and basically who we should be trying to obtain. So that's why we break down these videos for every theme that comes out. That way you know who you should try to target and use your collectibles on to craft and what players you should be trying to obtain. So enough with that. Let's get into this. It's going to be crazy. This is a very good theme. There's a lot of very good power forwards and centers, and there's a lot of good players in lower rarities. So for newer players, you're going to have an opportunity to obtain some of the best players in the game for rarities as low as Ruby, Emerald, and even Sapphire. So it's gonna be exciting times. All right, cool. So for the Glassman theme, there's a total of 4 point guards. So the lowest ranked point guard, and we're gonna start with the first one. All right, so Lonzo Ball is the lowest ranked point guard with an overall stat average of 3.5. All right, so Lonzo Ball has the lowest overall stat average. It comes in at a 3.5. Lonzo Ball is a player that you can craft. However, his area of opportunity comes in post scoring and strength. But that's among all point guards normally. Those are the categories that need help. But his strongest categories is agility, which is a 5, playmaking, which is a 5, and everything else is either a 3 or a 4. Now, I honestly think that he could have got a 5 in defense as well. So that could have been an adjustment made to maybe bring up his overall stat average. But Lonzo comes in at 3.5. Next, you have coming in at a 4.0, Amethyst Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons' area of opportunity comes in 3-point shot, but we knew that already, right? He's not a shooter, and then shoot off dribble. Other than that, Ben Simmons has a 4 and 5 in almost every category. His best categories is layups and dunks, agility, and playmaking. I recently got Onyx Ben Simmons, so a build that I recommend. It's one that can focus on his mid-range shooting and his agility and playmaking, and you can really work some magic with him. You can also boost up post scoring because Ben Simmons is a tall point guard, so you can definitely take advantage of that height. So he is craftable as well, so that could be a card you can aim to target. Then you have at a 4.1, Emerald Jason Kidd. Emerald Jason Kidd is craftable. Strongest categories is defending, playmaking, agility, mid-range shooting, and shoot-off dribble, all coming in at a 5. His area of opportunity is post-scoring at a 2, and believe it or not, layups and dunks and rebounding both at a 3. I'm not surprised about the layups and dunks, but the rebounding is a little low considering Jason Kidd is a triple-double machine. But regardless of the fact, comes in at a 4.1. And then the best point guard in this theme is Ruby Russell Westbrook. And yes, you get an opportunity to get a Russell Westbrook, and him being a Ruby means you got a chance to get him from events probably. So Russell Westbrook, overall average is 4.2. Russ is a 4 and 5. There's nothing lower than that. So there's really not a specific area of opportunity. He has a 5 in agility and a 5 in playmaking. Everything else is a 4. Those categories can be boosted easily with the right gear or mentor, making Russell a machine. And if you guys want to see a good build for Russell Westbrook, then definitely check out my Russell Westbrook build. All right, so for this theme, there's only one shooting guard. And it's a pretty good one too. We got Luka Doncic. And as you guys know, Luka Doncic comes in at a 3.5 overall stat average. Luka is killing it in the real NBA, but again, I emphasize this in my Onyx content. Luka needs to get a buff. His area of opportunity right now is post scoring, which is a 2, and everything else is a 3 and a 4. But he's got a 3 in rebounding, a 3 in strength, and a 3 in layups and dunks. And then he's got a 4 in shoot-off dribble, a 4 mid-range shooting. So I feel like those two categories can be boosted to a 5. And if Luka's going to be the only shooting guard in the Glassman theme, his rebounding numbers should be higher. But that's Luka, 3.5 overall. It's the only shooting guard, so that makes him automatically the best shooting guard in this theme. All right, so now let's break down the small forwards. All right, so there's a total of 3 small forwards in this theme. We'll start with the lowest rated, and that's 4.1 overall stat average, and that is Kevin Durant. So Kevin Durant's coming in at a 4.1 overall stat average. He has the amethyst rarity in this theme. His area of opportunity is a 3 in strength and a 3 in rebounding. However, he's a 4 and a 5 in everything else. Kevin Durant is a beast. If you can really boost up his mid-range shooting and his 3-point shot, he is almost unstoppable. Like, his shots is insane. If you give him enough room, forget about it. You can see my gameplay for Kevin Durant. I have a ton of fun with him. He's so reliable and he's super clutch. So that's KD. His ability is prime player. And also all the other players that I mentioned has a prime player ability. In this team, there's only 2 players that have a different ability, and that's Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. They have the dual ability. Next, we got at a 4.3 overall stat average, Kawhi Leonard. So Kawhi has a 5 in defending, a 5 in mid-range shooting, and a 5 in shoot-off dribble. Everything else is a 4. So as you can see, you can have a lot of options with Kawhi Leonard. Just overall great player. And again, he's got the Onyx treatment in his team, so he's going to be a really good one to have, especially with that prime player ability. And last but not least, at the Emerald rarity, the best small forward is Elgin Baylor, coming in at a 4.8 overall, which is one of the highest stat averages in the game, him and LeBron James. He basically has a 5 in every category, for the exception of layups and dunks and 3-point shot. So you can boost up anything and be totally fine with Elgin Baylor. And guess what? Elgin is craftable. So now let's go into the power forwards. So here goes the power forwards. The lowest rated power forward in this team. And I'm telling you, it's a little disappointing, but I understand and I can explain to you why. The lowest is coming in at a 3.5. This card is craftable, but it is the Onyx Kevin Garnett, making his first appearance in NBA 2K Mobile. However, his stats need a buff, right? Kevin Garnett's area of opportunity is 3-point shot. It is a 1, and that is dragging his score down. And I'm noticing with a lot of the older players, especially the big men, they lack a 3-point shot, and that hurts their overall stat average in 2K Mobile. Because aside from that, he's got a 2 in agility, which is pretty low. I thought Kevin Garnett was pretty agile, right? Great post scoring. I mean, that's why he got a 5, but his spin moves and everything, he moves around fairly well, and he can jump incredibly high. His playmaking is a 3, so that's an area of opportunity, and his shoot-off dribble, which I always thought Kevin Garnett had decent handle and can really cross somebody over and do a pull-up, because his mid-range shot was insane as well. That's why it's a 5. So you see, there's some area of opportunity to boost up his stats. Now, do I think that you should not get Kevin Garnett? Absolutely not. He's one of the best players in the game, regardless. You just got to boost up the right stats and just understand that certain categories he's not going to be able to help you. So you're not going to be shooting 3-point shots with Kevin Garnett, and you're not going to be doing shoot-off dribble. All right, so Dennis Rodman has a 3.8 overall stat average. He is craftable. Strongest stats is a 6 in strength and rebounding. One of the few players that have a 6 in a specific category. He also has a 5 in defending, but the area of opportunity is also 3-point shot and shoot-off dribble. So again, as long as you're okay with him not being a scorer on your team and more of a layups and dunks player, putbacks, rebounding, you should be a-okay. That was the build I was running with Dennis Rodman. I pretty much maxed out layups and dunks for him. He was basically the putback king. All right, so on to the next. 3.9 overall. We got a sapphire Kevin Love, which is a great look, right? Gives sapphire players an opportunity to get somebody really good. Comes in at a 3.9 overall. Kevin's area of opportunities is shoot off dribble, agility, playmaking, and defending. Those are all three, while his strongest categories is 3-point shot out of 5 and strength being a 5 along with post scoring. So Kevin Love is a great addition to any team. He was on my team for a very, very long time, and I do see the difference of not having him. The ball spread around so well when I had Kevin Love on the team. Incredible ball movement, great spot up shooter, great mid-range. As you can see, he complemented my entire team. Doesn't mean I regret replacing him, but I can see the difference. And he's that kind of dynamic player on NBA 2K Mobile. Then you got at a 4.2, Ruby Giannis, right? This is a good opportunity. You get a Ruby Giannis card. So he has a 5 in playmaking, a 5 in agility. Everything else is a 4. So you can do a lot with Giannis. And the same thing with Emerald Anthony Davis, which comes in at 4.2 as well. These two power forwards always rank as number 1 because they both have the same overall stat average. The difference is Giannis is a better playmaker while Anthony Davis is a better defender. So you got to just pick which one you want to go with. As you can see here, this is Giannis' stats, and he's also a prime player. And then you got Anthony Davis with the Emerald treatment. Again, gives you a great theme player for an Emerald rating with the prime player ability as well. And last but not least, we have the centers. And there are a lot of centers in this theme. There are a ton. So we're going to start with the bottom. And that's Rudy Gobert coming in at a 2.7. He is craftable. However, Rudy has a 1 in so many categories. He's just a defensive beast, right? So if you want to lock down defender, go Rudy all the way. But the thing is, Rudy has a 1 in playmaking, a 1 in 3-point shot, and a 1 on shoot off dribble. So you're getting 0 offense or any type of playmaking from Rudy. However, you get a 4 in strength, a 4 in rebounding, a 4 in layups and dunks, and a 5 in defending. So you can kind of figure out what kind of play he's going to be on your team. Then you got at a 3 overall. It's very similar to Rudy Gobert. You got DeAndre Jordan, which is craftable as well. But DeAndre has a 1 in playmaking, a 1 in 3-point shot, a 1 in mid-range shooting, with a 5 in rebounding, a 5 in strength, and a 5 in layups and dunks. So you kind of know what you're getting with DeAndre. And you also got a 4 in defending. Was my first center in the game. He held me down for a while and was even my amethyst center for a bit as well. So he's not that bad as long as you know he's not going to score. Unless it's like a close-up, put-back dunk. And this might be the theme with most of these centers. All right, the next center is Emerald Charles Oakley. Coming in at a 3.2. Oakley's area of opportunities are shoot off dribble, which is a 2, 3-point shot, agility, and playmaking. But he has a 5 inside of strength, rebounding, and a 4 in defending, along with layups and dunks. And he is craftable. Then you got another player that's craftable, Dwight Howard, coming in at a 3.3. Playmaking is area of opportunity, 3-point shot. Strongest category is strength, rebounding, all coming in at a 5, with a 4 in layups and dunks, 4 in post scoring, and a 4 in agility, along with a 4 in defending. So he's a bit of a better overall player, as you can see. Then another card that is craftable is Andre Drummond, coming at a 3.3. Andre has a 5 in rebounding, a 5 in strength, 4 in agility, 4 in post scoring. Area of opportunity is 3-point shot, mid-range, and shoot off dribble. Then you have another card that's craftable, NBA Legend, coming in at the Emerald rarity this time around. So you get an opportunity to get him. Craftable, overall stat average is 3.5. Again, another player which is impacted by the lack of a shooting ability. Shaq is a 5 in defending, 5 in rebounding, 5 in strength, 4 in agility, and 4 in post scoring, but he has a 1 in 3-point shot, a 1 in mid-range shooting, and that's just drag his score down. Next up is Hassan Whiteside, coming in at a 3.6. Whiteside is craftable, is a sapphire player. He has a 5 in strength, a 5 in rebounding, a 4 in mid-range, and a 4 in layups and dunks. with post scoring, agility, and defending at a 4 as well. So you can see, because he has a jump shot, that's helping him stack higher than some of the greatest NBA legend centers. Then you got, for the amethyst treatment, actually, correction, at an Onyx level, you got Wilt Chamberlain coming out at 3.6. He has a 5 in defending, 5 in rebounding, 5 in strength, and a 5 in post scoring. But he has no mid-range shot and no 3-point shot, all coming out of 1, and a 2 in shoot-off dribble. So if you're okay with those categories being low, then to be honest with you, Wilt Chamberlain is a lot better than his overall stat average might indicate, because he's a 4 and 5 in everything else. Very complete player, one of the greatest scorers in history. Then you got Ruby Joel Embiid, which has the dual ability. You pair him up with Ben Simmons for the bonus. Embiid's a 4 overall. Strongest categories is rebounding, strength, post scoring, with his area of opportunity being shoot-off dribble and playmaking. Then you got another craftable center, Moses Malone, coming at a 4.0 as well. His strongest area is defending, rebounding, strength, post scoring, with an area opportunity and 3-point shot. Everything else is either a 3 and a 4. So Moses Malone is actually pretty solid. And you got, for the goal level, Patrick Ewing, which is craftable, 4.0 overall as well. There's a 5 in defending, 5 in rebounding, 5 in strength. Lowest categories, agility and 3-point shot, with everything else being a 3 or 4. Then at a 4.0 as well, you got Amethyst Bill Russell, who has very similar stats to Patrick Ewing. So you know the area of opportunity will be 3-point shot and agility. So you can kind of ignore that, because he has a 5 in where it matters. Defending, rebounding, strength, post scoring. Not a bad option. And then here you go, at a sapphire, you get an opportunity to get one of the greatest centers in the game, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, at a 4.2. Has a 5 in defending, 5 in rebounding, 5 in strength, 5 in post scoring, with the area of opportunity being the lowest stat line of a 3, which is 3-point shot and playmaking. Now playmaking, to be honest with you, should be higher, because Hakeem Olajuwon is a great passer and gets me a lot of assists on my team. So I'm a little surprised by that stat. That's definitely something that is a little misleading, right? Because he is a great pass playmaker. And then tied for the top is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who gets the amethyst treatment, coming at a 4.2 overall. He has a 5 in defending, 5 in rebounding, 5 in strength, 5 in post scoring, 5 in mid-range shooting, and 5 in mid layups and dunks. Area of opportunity, shoot-off dribble, which is a 4, and 3-point shot, which is 1. As you can see, very solid player. All right, so now that we broke that down, so pretty surprising list so far, right? All right, cool. So now that we went into that, so now that we went over the ratings for all the players based off the stat average, we're going to tell you the top for each position, right? So the top 5 point guards, well, there's only 4 point guards, so we're going to rank them from lowest to highest. You got Lonzo Ball, Ben Simmons, Jason Kidd, and then Russell Westbrook. For shooting guard, there's only one, Luka. The honor is all yours. Then for small forward, there are only 3, so we'll start from the bottom to the top. You got Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, and Elgin Baylor. Then we're going to the power forward. This is a little more stacked. So the lowest of the power forwards is Onyx Kevin Garnett. Then you got Gold Dennis Rodman, Sapphire Kevin Love, Ruby Giannis, and tied Emerald Anthony Davis. And here goes the centers. Now this is a much bigger list, so there's actually a real top, you could say a top 7, because a couple of players are tied for 4.0 overall. So we'll start with the lowest being Joel Embiid. Then you got Moses Malone. Then you got Gold Patrick Ewing. Then you got Onyx Wilt Chamberlain. And to be honest with you, the last 4 names all are 4.0 overall. Then you got Bill Russell. Then you got Hakeem the Dream, tied for first with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Those are the rankings based off position. Now, if we were to do the top 5 altogether, I'll do that for you right now. So you're going to have Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, Russell Westbrook, Giannis, Anthony Davis, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kawhi Leonard, and then the number one player in this team. The number one player in this team is Emerald Elgin Baylor. Now, as far as the craftable players, you got Moses Malone, Patrick Ewing, Ben Simmons, Bill Russell, Jason Kidd, and Elgin Baylor. And in total, you have 4 amethyst players, 5 emerald, 5 gold, 5 ruby, 5 sapphire, and 3 onyx. And here goes your best team overall. So your point guard will be Russell Westbrook. Your shooting guard will be Luka Doncic. Small forward will be Elgin Baylor. Power forward will be either Anthony Davis or Giannis. And your center will be either Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Hakeem Olajuwon. So that is it. That is all the Glassman theme players sorted. We did a breakdown of all their stat averages, top craftable players, top players overall, top team in general, and the top players for every position. And we basically broke down every player. So I do hope you enjoy this content. We got so many things lined up. Great times for NBA 2K Mobile, and I appreciate all the support.